Okay, let's get into this. We're taking a look at a side of the whole digital asset thing that, well, maybe doesn't get the spotlight quite like you know, the moonshots and the Lambos.
Right.
We're talking about the digital graveyard, where cryptocurrencies kind of go when they fail. Our source material today calls them ghost coins.
And it's the size of this graveyard that really hits you first. You hear about Bitcoin, Ethereum, the successes. But the source makes it really clear success is definitely not the norm. We're talking tens of thousands of these digital currencies launch, big promises, and then poof.
Yeah, just gone.
Vanished, collapsed, or maybe just abandoned by the people who started them.
Right. They pop up saying they'll change finance, fix global trade, all of it. And now they're basically what? Digital tumbleweeds?
Pretty much. Digital dust bunnies, like you said.
So the big question for this deep dive, looking at what these sources tell us, is why? Why do so many of these grand ideas end up as, well, ghosts haunting the blockchain?
Well, the sources give us some pretty stark examples that really show the pattern. You remember BitConnect?
Oh, yeah. How could anyone forget? The peak hype, the hey.
Exactly. That whole marketing circus. But underneath all that noise, the source is pretty blunt.
Yeah.
It was essentially a Ponzi scheme, just dressed up in crypto clothes.
And it went down hard, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Crashed to basically zero almost instantly. Billions just gone, vaporized.
And that wasn't like a one-off thing. The sources also bring up OneCoin that pulled in, what, over $4 billion?
$4 billion, yeah. All while shouting it was the next Bitcoin. And the truly wild part, the source flags, there wasn't even a real blockchain behind it.
Seriously. No blockchain at all.
None. It was, let's just say, pure theater, smoke and mirrors. And the founder, this crypto queen, Dr. Rusha Ignatova.
She vanished, right? Still missing.
Vanished in 2017. Still hasn't surfaced. Just gone.
Wow. Okay, so you've got the outright frauds, the scams driven by pure greed. But it's not just scams filling up this graveyard, is it? I mean, the source mentions projects that look legit on the surface, like Luna.
Yeah, Luna and the whole Terra stablecoin thing. That's a really sobering example.
Because it wasn't just hype.
Well, it had substance, or at least it seemed to, hailed as revolutionary even. But then, just a few days.
Total collapse.
Total horror story. We're talking over $40 billion in value wiped out. And it wasn't just small investors. Big funds got hammered too.
Right.
Faith in that whole type of stablecoin, the algorithmic model.
Yeah.
Died right there with it.
Okay, so we have BitConnect, OneCoin, Luna, different immediate triggers, maybe fraud, bad models, but looking at them together, what's the common thread the source points to? The main reason most projects end up as ghosts?
I'd say overwhelmingly it comes down to hype without real utility. You connect these dots and you see the crypto world moves incredibly fast, right? Much faster than traditional markets, faster than regulators can keep up, sometimes faster than, common sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And if a project isn't actually doing something useful, if it doesn't solve a real problem beyond just speculating on the price, the sources really suggest it's just fragile. Built on sand, very likely to be forgotten when the hype moves on.
So it's not just that they fail, but how quickly they can fail because they lack that core function. That speed makes the lack of substance lethal.
Exactly.
And that's the danger for you, the listener, right? If you're jumping in just based on buzz, chasing the next big thing someone tweeted about.
Absolutely. Every bull market brings a flood of new projects, new promises. But history, as these sources show us, is pretty ruthless.
How ruthless are we talking? What's the number?
Well, this source puts the number of dead or abandoned cryptocurrencies at over 20,000 already.
20,000?
20,000. Projects just left behind by developers, kicked off exchanges, or just, exposed as having nothing real behind them.
Okay, wow. That number alone, 20,000. It really makes you think. It makes the lessons from this graveyard vital if you're navigating this space. So given this brutal history laid out in the sources, what are the absolute key questions you need to be asking yourself before you even think about getting involved with a new crypto project?
Based on these failures, there are some critical ones. Before you jump on the hype train, you got to stop and ask, okay, does this thing actually solve a real-world problem? Is it doing something useful?
Right. Beyond just number go up.
Exactly. Then the team. Are they, actual people with names and faces? Are they doxed, as they say?
Yeah.
Or just anonymous accounts?
Legitimacy. Yeah, that's huge.
Crucial. And finally, the tech itself. Is the code open for anyone to look at? Open source. And, importantly, has it been checked over by independent experts, audited for security flaws, for, whether it actually works?
Because I guess for every Ethereum that sticks around and finds real use cases, there are hundreds, maybe thousands, that were just empty promises. Now they're just, like you said, digital dust. The memory in this space can be short, but the blockchain itself doesn't forget, does it?
It doesn't. Those ghost coins are still recorded, like little warnings echoing from the past.
You definitely don't want your exploration here to end up as another one of those warnings.
Precisely.
So, thinking about everything we've covered, the speed, the hype, the thousands of failures documented in these sources, what does this whole history of ghost coins really suggest to you, our listener, about approaching the future of digital assets? What's the single biggest warning sign you take away from this deep dive?